Okay, this video I just kind of want to go through trades and look for just kind of help you to find a better trade to get into, and say be getting into something that you didn't want to, or how to be something that would be not as good as it could be. So let's go ahead and take a look at let's just look at this trade right here. I'll go ahead and clean some of this. Just have some different drawings on here, but I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this area. We came out of the morning here. Let's go ahead and go back to that time frame. So at this window in time, you can see that we came down near the end of the night, and then traded up. The market open here. The time shifted here at 6 o'clock, and then we are below the 21. So typically what we're looking for is a type of change in direction or continuation or breakout of the pattern, like we talked about before. Here's something like this coming down through here. Line that you could look at here that's already kind of drawn because you had a weird down. Looks like it took some lower liquidity. This looks pretty stable coming through here for support. This does look like you're sitting in a continuation down pattern. So right here, we don't necessarily want to just jump into a trade. I think you're just coming out of an area where the market just shifted, so we could see some volatility. So this may break out and then break down. So we want to avoid that. The thing we can do is go down into the 5 minute here and get a better look at this. Let me go ahead and remove that area so we can just have less stuff in the way here. So we have the 21 coming down here, and then kind of curling, coming back up on the 5. And then we have the 200 rolling over. So if you kind of use these as a way to draw a pattern, so you kind of have this kind of going on, right, which would typically be a breakdown pattern. You do have that in the back of your mind that this could possibly roll, just like the 15 says. You do have your stoaches, though, on the bottom. MACD right now is in neutral, and so is your RSI in the 5 minute. The 1 minute are the same kind of pattern. We have a downwards continuation pattern here. Same thing if you used your 21 and 200. It kind of creates that same pattern as we see here. This is kind of a flat bottom with a descending angle here. We haven't really got clarification. It could bounce and turn here. You see the stoaches low that want to turn. You're sitting almost neutral on the MACD, and you're sitting almost neutral on the RSI. So this is why we kind of wait, right? Because right now we're seeing almost in neutral. Everything's kind of sitting neutral. So let's go ahead and put this forward. I'm going to stay in the 15 minute because that's kind of what we're trading in. But I want to use the 5 minute and the 1 minute to kind of help analyze what we should be doing. So let's go ahead and go forward one bar here. And in this 15 minutes, it did break out. So here, when we were looking back at it, I said we could break out, turn, and come straight back down and catch this move. So that would give us confirmation to get in a short, and go ahead and write this down. Right now, though, looking at the RSI is pointing up. So it's kind of wanting to push more bullish. The MACD is crossed and showing bullish. It's in bearish territory because it's down below this middle section here, so that would be considered bearish. But we're still not out of the woods yet or to take a trade. The other thing, the stoaches are high, and when stoaches are high, that's a pretty good sign of rollover as well. Let's go ahead and jump down into the 5 minute and take a look at that candle. So you have 3 candles here that shifted. So we were looking at it right in this range, and then here's the last 15 minutes here. 2, 3 times 5 is 15. So there you go. There's the 3. It's projecting right now on its 5 minute 200, showing everything's kind of flip push up for bullish. And this is happening too. We're actually starting to look at this a little bit different and see if this will play out. You're always just looking ahead and seeing change in direction till you finally get what you're looking for to take a trade. Until then, you're just kind of building out, guessing on what direction we could be going in. This 21, the reason why I just drew this on here is because same thing, we're going to chase the 200. It's going to kind of follow this line. And then the 21 could come underneath price action. We can see it get tight in here, and this would be a bullish flag for explosion to the upside here. So that's just something that we're going to be looking at. And then the minute, now it's fully exhausted on the stoaches, but everything has gone up. We're getting exhausted on the RSI, so this could roll over and confirm what we were just talking about on the 15, a shoot up and a shoot down. Stoaches are high. MACD is in a full bull side. I mean, the fast moving average is above the slow moving average. In the kind of the neutral zone, it's pushed away from it into the bearish territory. So this would be all our bullish territory, and this is all bullish up here. And then stoaches right now are fully extended, so more than likely we're going to roll back over and have to pull down. So to kind of give you an idea, what we'd be looking for is just to pull down and set up for a push up and get down to the bottom here. But we want to see price action stay with some commitment up here. So let's go ahead and go back to the 15 minute again and go ahead and go for another candle. So here's another 15 minute candle created. So we were sitting in this pattern that we thought could potentially break down. Now it's pushed away, and for 2 15-minute candles, stoaches are still pushed out, but MACD, RSI both should still show bullish. We'll go into the 5 minute. Then we have 1, 2. Now we have 3 candles, and we're sitting above its 200. So if you're above the 21, above the 200, that's a bullish sign that we're looking for. So another check back box for the up. What we want to see is the 21 above the 200 to get a full-on bull setup. RSI is still trying to push up here, so as MACD has now got itself above that area back here. We were in that neutral zone, right? Now we've kind of spread out these moving averages, and we're up in the bull territory. The stoaches on the 5 minute are fully extended, so we could see them roll back down. Same thing, if they start to come down, we want to see price action hold, especially right around that 21 and that 200. Let's go down to the 1 minute, and we'll have 5 candles here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the last, or 15 candles, sorry. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 15. So this is what we saw in the last 15 minutes from earlier. So we can see that it was extended, and now it's rolling back over. Unlikely. This is looking good, though, because more likely we'll see a pull down on the RSI. 1 minute, these indicators and stuff can go up and down quite a bit before price action really pushes off. And that's why we use the longer time frames for finding actual trades and not the 1 minute. 1 minute is just a good tool as we're looking at it, because these are, half hour worth of data, and before it was looking negative and now it's looking positive or bearish and bullish. But what we want to see is if it does lose the 21, we do want to see it hold the 200 as this plays out. Right now the stoaches are bullish. MACD is kind of floating up there, but it's in bullish territory, bullish territory, and RSI could pull down here as well. But go ahead and watch that. Here, 15-minute candle, it went above its 200, opened above the 200, but then lost the 200. So what we're looking for is price action to come, it's just to hold above this 21, but we want to see this 21 come and curl underneath price action. And then 200, and this would create that bull flag there and then shoot us to the upside. So if we are looking at trade, that's what we're going to be looking at the lower time frames to help us analyze this, to make sure that we're not just getting faked out here and have it rip down on us. Because right now the stoaches are high on the 15, which could easily pull this chart down here in a little bit. Let's go back into the 5 minute real fast. The thing is holding that, so that is getting more and more bullish. I'd like to see the stoaches come down here and have this price action hold here. 1 minute, same thing. We're just creating that bull flag up here. It's just getting stronger and stronger. You go back, this area to this area is going up, down to the top there, up in an up angle. Yet when you come down to the RSI in that same section, you're actually seeing down. So that is hidden bullish divergence. So the 1 minute's getting very bullish for us. Let's go ahead and take a look at this again. Now, this candle really didn't go anywhere. So you should read these candles to kind of give you an idea of direction, but we're not getting into that. Just trying to look for helping you get into a trade and when is a good time to get in. So let's go down to the 5 minute. The 5 minute has continued to hold basically that 200. It's fighting there, but we are seeing this flag down here, this bullish flag being more and more pushed. The last 45 minutes or so, 3 15-minute candles has held through this, even the 5 minutes confirmed. We're still watching this. This is starting to get into a neutral state. This could turn and rotate. We're still in the bullish territory, and this continue to push up. What we're looking for 1 minute is the same as well, being in that more of a bull pendant. You can see we talked about before, it's still sitting in that direction. So let's jump out again, because I'm sure you're wondering when to get into a trade. So we lost the 200 here on the 15 minutes. So I say we lost it because we closed, then we opened, and this bar here could not get above its 200. That's not necessarily a bad thing, because it's nice. It's just putting resistance against this chart right now and letting it set up, but yet it's holding. Like we're waiting for that to cup underneath. So let's go down to our 5 minute and see what we got going on here. Got even stronger bullish. So at this point, we're looking very, very healthy for an up trade. Switches are almost to the bottom for curling to go ahead and drive this up. 21 is going to cross the 200, which is another very strong bullish signal. He is still in bullish territory, and so is RSI. 1 minute has continued to hold what we were talking about. So at this point, we're going to start to look for probably these stoaches to reset, and we're getting close to wanting to look at getting into a trade. You could go ahead and start looking at front running this if you wanted. Really what we want to see is a back test of the 21. So you could do something like this. I'll put it up. You could be a little more aggressive here and trade this as well. One nice thing is if you put this out, this breaks down, starts to break below here, you could get out right here and save you quite a bit of money on a loss potential, because if this does break down, it'll just come down and this is going to be support. It may bounce here. So if you want to be a little more aggressive in your trade, you could stop there. Want to be a little more safe in your trades, you could put a stop here. So that all depends on you, on how you want to trade. Split the difference here, just in case it does come down, get out. So let's go ahead and move forward for the next 15-minute candle. Came down and tested the 21 like we asked it. If this was your trade, that would be the time to enter. And this is why people have a hard time trading, because this is a red candle. I mean, we're looking at white candles on mine, but obviously candles that go up are green, candles go down are red. But this candle right here is a red candle. It dropped down. It opened up here at the 200, dropped down, picked. Actually, and then went back up a little bit, but closed. But this would be considered a bearish candle. The thing I'm looking for is the 5 minute. The 21 and 200, like we were talking about, is a strong pattern. But now you're saying, hey, well, lost that, both of those. Is this negative? We're going to go ahead and take a look at this. This pattern here, I'm going to move up and catch this. Actually, I don't like moving that one. I'm going to go ahead and, because we're kind of more in this is what I see more going on price action. This kind of flows more with that yellow. I just kind of catching the top of the candle bodies. I'm not looking for wicks. I go to candle bodies. So through here, and then this looks like it's going to bounce right through here. 5 minutes is fully dropped down. Looks like it's going to curl. That's what I'm going to be watching for. And if I wasn't going to enter the trade right here on that 15-minute drop, I would be maybe looking for it to hold somewhere right in here to enter. This is going to the lower time frames to help yourself out. The same thing, I want to see it hold this 200. So I may look at entering above this. So I'm moving it out a little bit because I'm going to wait for the price action to get here. If we get a couple more candles here, then I'm going to go ahead and get in somewhere right here. I do like that we are going to show this pushing up. It looks like we're going to get pushed up through this bull flag and start to go up. And I say that is because we are coming down on this 21. The only thing on this trade that would make me a little quick to pull is because my stoaches on the 15-minute are up there. So at this point, I'm going to be getting into this and then looking for it to come back up and hold price action on the 200. And I want to see these stoaches start to come down and turn, and price action stays up into this above its 21. Obviously, if it starts to break down, I'm going to be getting out of this trade. So let's go ahead and go down to the, instead of staying on the 15-minute, let's go down because we're getting ready to get into this trade. Let's even watch the 1 minute. So I'm going to go forward one minute bars here. So the price action staying above. Anywhere in this window that it's holding, I could be entering this trade. 5 minute, the same way, is doing the same thing. It is turning. So at this point, you're going to have to make that decision. Anywhere in this window, it's showing that it's going to want to hold the pattern that we've just been analyzing. So I would be looking at entering in any of those bars. If you feel like you've missed it, so say now that it's above its 21 and above the 200, that's still a good entry. The 5 minute now is actually confirming what you've been asking for it to do. This is turned now. So you could still enter the trade even right through here for more confirmation. That is up to you and how you want to enter. You could even enter closer to the top of this breakdown if you wanted as well. Like, obviously that candle we just saw drop would have made you a little nervous, but you have to let things kind of play out. And this is the reading. So we're going to go ahead and let it move forward. If you were the guy that wants to wait for the breakout, we'd still be waiting. If you waited for it to get above the 200, right now it's above it, so then you'd be looking for it to come back in and test for you. At this point, the stoaches are turned. Everything is turned more in a bullish attitude. So that would be a strong entry right there on your back test on your 21. And so this did exactly what you asked it to do. It was a bull flag in there. This action started to break out, broke down, and took out the liquidity down through here before it fired up, but it still went ahead and started going back up. Again, for me, I would have been back on in that 1 minute. I would have been back through here on this, again, this pattern down through here, mainly because of the other stuff we were looking at earlier. Now, let me jump out to the 15-minute and see what's going on there. This is what we wanted to see. Price action has curled. So you could have taken the trade back when it tested the 21 area, like we were talking about. That would have been a little bit more aggressive because you can see the 21 hadn't curled yet. There it is curled now. So you could take anywhere in this 200, which correlates back to the 5 minute. Same thing we're talking about, a broke pattern. Also back tested the 21. Those are all entries that you could have taken. And the 1 minute has done all along here, has tested the 200. Now it's starting to break out. The 21 has rejected its 200, so it did not break through. The price action rejected the 200. Everything is rejected. This has a lot stronger bullishment attitude. So now it is time to, I would leave the lower time frames right now. You don't want to get stuck in the lower time frames where you start making decisions based on that. Now the price action started to push away, you could pull your stop in below this 21. This 21 should hold the price action. And I'm just moving the candles forward. This is Sunday morning trade. So you do find normally when something like this is set up, you'll see a lot stronger move. I mean, it would just take, because you would have got in the trade somewhere around here, which is around 8:15 Central Standard Time, my time. Right now it's 10:45. So that would be 2.5 hours. You'd be in this trade, still waiting for it. You do see a bull flag, just like we were talking about in the lower time frames originally on the 5 minute and 1 minute. You see the bull flag on the 15. This is a strong pattern for tick. So you can see we moved the price action up to catch this. I like to, have a type of flag. So you could estimate about where it's going to go. This is kind of the transition for a broke out. This is the high there. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is roughly my breakout. That'd be roughly the target that I'd be looking for this to go to, somewhere right here. And the other thing is you can watch, once the trade starts to transition, you can start to watch the 21 here. Typically, once the trade starts to move, you're going to want to watch it. Right now, the trade hasn't really moved. You can see it's kind of just doing a sideways pattern. So this is still a good time to exit if you wanted to, because it is a Sunday, it's slow volatility. So the price action could roll and come down. But we're going to go ahead and move this forward. The reason why I'd be watching this is because of that bull flag on the 15. That's what I'd be looking at. And I would want to see this flag start to push price action up. And there's what we'd be looking for. That's the price action up. I would jump into the 5 minute now. Watch this from now on. I would be also watching this 21 on the 5 minute. Or in this case, since basically we got to target from what I was showing you just a little bit ago, so this trade would have been stopped out because that's where I put my target stop. So I would have actually got the trade to exit. If you're still in the trade though, because you don't know where the targets are, or your target was a lot higher and it hadn't got there yet and you're still waiting, we're going to watch the 5 minute here for exit for ease. And what I'm watching is I'm going to watch it reject the 21. So see how right there it closed below the 21? This right here is it's telling me that I should probably look at getting out. So right here, I would be exiting somewhere around here. So basically I had one close before and then 1, 2. This is the same idea when you enter a trade a lot of times. So this would be a good time to exit the trade is right here. So, and there we go. That's the rejection on that 15 minute for this 5 minute candle, sorry. And could go into the 1 minute. You can see it's losing. It's just the opposite now. It's creating a bear flag. So you can see this is coming, putting pressure down. This is flat. It's creating pressure to go on the downside. Be careful jumping into shorts. You want to analyze trades and watch to make sure they're good setups. You just don't want to take stuff just because it's showing reversal, because the 5 minute and 1 minute is just good ways to get out this way. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a good time to enter into a trade. The other things you're going to want to look at, just like we just analyzed the bull flag. Hope that helps you out. This would be a nice little trade for you, depending on how you're betting on your count. You went and took it roughly like showing and took it to that target. That would be 0.4% increase on that trade. In leverage, obviously, that would have been a very nice trade, mainly because you would have almost done a 3-to-1 in that trade, depending on how you're trading leverage. But this is any trade that is successful because it moves in the right direction and you got in and you got out. The plan is a good trade. Anyways, hope this helps out and you can just kind of see, how to analyze and look at the market when it is going forward. All right, happy trading. Thanks.